Hello everyone, I am Navneet Pulekar along with Ronald Brown, Nisha Fernandez and Michael Massaro going to present Porter's 5 force analysis for supermarkets and grocery store industry. As we have studied in our course material, Porter's 5 force analysis consists of 5 forces: threats of new entrants, bargaining power of buyers, bargaining powers of supplier, threat of substitute products, competitive rivalry within an industry. The supermarkets and grocery store industry has grown over the last 5 years. Industry revenue has grown at an annual rate of 1.4% to $601.8 billion dollars in last 5 years. Industry revenue is forecasted to rise at an average annual rate of 1.2% to $638 billion dollars. First force of the 5 force analysis is threat of new entrants. I am going to discuss 7 traits that will be helpful to evaluate this first force. The first trait is growth rate. IBIS report on pages 4, 8 and 9 has suggested the forecasted annual growth rate of 1.2% for years 2016 to 2021. It is a low growth industry. Second trait is capital requirement. Page 12 of report reads, industry is at mature stage of its life and to earn or retain the profit, supermarkets are engaged in mergers and acquisitions. Page 21 gives information about the revenue expenditure on purchases, operations and wages. Page 23 clearly states initial capital investment is high. Next trait is minimum efficiency scale. Since most of the supermarkets and grocery stores run efficiently and competitively in the industry, the assessment of this trait is low. Regulations are administered by state government. It is a medium threat trait. Access to distribution channels is high. Distribution network is strong and available. The sixth and seventh trait, buyers switching cost and number of incumbents is high. Many choices are available to customers. As per the report, there are like 42,539 competitors operating in this industry. After analyzing all these traits, the conclusion is threat of new entrants is weak. On page 8, it clearly says that the low profit margins and highly competitive market have discouraged many new companies from entering the market. Second force is bargaining power of buyers. The first trait, evaluation of buyer switching cost, is low. As per page 4, there are many options are available to consumers and hence it is low. Product differentiation assessment is high because buyers are more health conscious and need for new healthy option is needed for profitability. Forward integration by incumbents is assessed as low. The rate of mergers and acquisitions is low. Backward integration is not a threat and hence it is assessed as low. Buyers concentration is mostly into populated urban places. These areas are selected for supermarkets location and hence the assessment of this trait is high. As per the page 4 of IBIS report, purchasing power is increased due to per capita disposable income is increased. Assessment of this trait is also high. Price sensitive. Since more options are available, price sensitivity trait is assessed as high. Substitutes are plenty and hence the trait assessment is high. Hence the overall evaluation of bargaining power of buyers is strong.
The next force is bargaining power of suppliers. The Agricultural Price Index is a key driver in this industry. It measures the prices received by farmers for all agricultural products, including livestock and crops. The volatility of agricultural prices poses a potential threat to the industry. Many wholesaling industries, such as grocery, frozen food, dairy, egg and poultry, confectionery, fish and seafood, beef and pork, and fruit and vegetable, are key suppliers to the supermarket and grocery store industry. Increased M&A activity and greater integration between wholesale and retail operations has weakened sales and increased competition. This increases suppliers' power. Suppliers' switching costs relative to company switching costs are a low threat. Wholesale bypass, which has become more prevalent, occurs when large companies sell directly to retailers to reduce costs and eliminate middlemen, such as wholesalers. Traditional merchants in a wholesale industries face stiff competition from manufacturers' sales branches and offices of vertically integrated companies. Many wholesalers are facing this threat. There is little differentiation of input among suppliers. Millennials have become the most populous generation. They are more health conscious and value driven and less brand driven. Therefore, they place less importance on seeking brand name products. Additionally, the economic uncertainty felt after the 2008 financial crisis has driven many consumers to seek more private labels. The overall evaluation of bargaining power of suppliers is weak to moderate. Next, we talk about the threat of substitute products. Other industries that offer substitute products include convenience stores, pharmacy and drug stores, gas stations with convenience stores, warehouse clubs and supercenters, and direct selling companies. The supermarket and grocery store industry faces intensifying competition from alternative retailers. Consumers will go to warehouse clubs and supercenters like Costco and Walmart for cost savings and the convenience of a one-stop shop. Mass merchandisers also offer lower prices due to their scale of operations. Limited assortment stores such as Aldi's and Trader Joe's and fresh format stores such as Whole Foods and Fresh Market provide simple layouts and less costly store brand products. Fresh format stores have enjoyed expanded growth due to increasing demand for premium organic products. Growth from non-traditional store formats is increasing. The Healthy Eating Index is another key driver in this industry. An increase in the Healthy Eating Index indicates that consumers demand more organic and natural products. In fact, 75% of consumers purchase organic food because they believe it is healthier for them than non-organic food. Millennials are now the most populous generation. This group is more health conscious and will increase the demand for organic and natural products as well as private label items. Organic goods are sourced at similar prices as non-organic foods and then priced at a premium. Switching costs are high. According to the Department of Agriculture, premiums on organic fruits and vegetables can range from 30% to more than 100%. Consumers are sensitive to prices. Online retailers have increasingly taken market share away from traditional supermarkets and grocery stores. The overall evaluation of the threat of substitute products is strong.
I'm going to talk about force number 5, which is degree of rivalry. The exit barriers in this industry are low. Because the inventory in this business is mostly liquid, it can be sold or disposed of quickly. This industry is very fragmented. The top 3 players hold most of the market, while the remaining composed of mainly small and medium-sized operators that cater to local and regional markets. The acquisitions and mergers that have happened in the past 5 years have also contributed to the fluctuations in the industry concentration. Fixed costs such as rents could be high depending on the location and size of the store. In addition, the storage costs are high not only at the retail location but also at the distribution centers. There is no shortage of competition in this industry. Grocery stores have to compete not only with each other but also with convenience stores, wholesale stores which can lower their prices due to bulk capacities, premium and specialty stores such as Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, which specialize in more organic foods for the health conscious. Intense competition in the food retailing sector has contributed to the slow growth of this industry. The various options available to customers, such as organic, specialty, premium markets, wholesale clubs, etc., the level of product differentiation is quite high. Since price is mostly the driving factor in this industry, even though some might be partial to certain brands, to a big extent, brand loyalty is almost insignificant. I evaluate rivalry to be quite strong. Even though the market share is not equal, the industry has to constantly compete with others to maintain customer loyalty. The two strong forces that have a direct impact on profits in the supermarket industry are the degree of rivalry and the buyer power. The competition in the supermarket industry is intense. Even though most of the market share is afforded to three main corporations, all have to put in a constant effort to innovate to maintain customer loyalty. To retain customers, supermarkets are competing with price and quality of products. With the advent of the new health age and mass move to consume organic healthy foods, supermarkets have to constantly research to change and maintain inventory. Price being the driving force, with little focus on brand identity, supermarkets have to innovate with other factors such as convenience and technology to stay ahead of the game. Besides competing between themselves, they are also competing with convenience stores, mass merchandisers, discount retailers, and food service providers. This level of competition increases the degree of rivalry substantially, and players in this industry have to stay on top of things to maintain decent profit margins. The main catalyst for the supermarket industry are their customers. Many businesses are targeting the same customer, so buyer power is very strong. The industry being saturated, the buyer has bargaining leverage. The recent recession has given rise to a new wave of value seekers who are looking not only to lower prices but also increasing quality. Changes in lifestyle, consumption of more healthy and organic foods, and also challenge supermarkets to change inventory to compensate for these needs. Digital technology is now pervasive in consumer lifestyle, and grocery shopping is no exception, forcing supermarkets to keep up with technology. Switching costs are low due to the homogeneous nature of goods sold at supermarkets. Buyer's temperament can have an adverse effect on the profits, forcing supermarkets to constantly evaluate what the customer wants and needs and innovate accordingly to maintain customer loyalty or see declining profits.
Kroger truly embraces the concept of treating each of Porter's five forces as described in this industry analysis as opportunities for growth instead of true threats to diminish profitability. In the supermarket and grocery store industry, true organic growth is difficult to come by due to the fiercely competitive environment in which these companies operate. As such, companies such as Kroger attempt to increase their market share as a means of earning a larger slice of the profit pie. While this industry in general is expected to grow over the next 5 years, profitability is expected to decline during the same period as a result of intense price competition. Given these circumstances, how is it the case that Kroger's performance has significantly exceeded that of its competition, and how has it outperformed its industry? Kroger has had to seek growth in new and unique ways. First, Kroger has benefited from expanding its private label offerings, which account for more than a quarter of total sales. By offering what consumers perceive to be upscale generic products, but at low prices, Kroger is able to draw in more customers. Next, Kroger has focused on driving sales productivity in markets that it already operates in, while simultaneously expanding through aggressive merger and acquisition activity. By acquiring different brands, the company is able to gain an advantage by boosting its overall stake in the industry's revenue pool. This is a compound effect. As Kroger continues to grow and rise above its competition, its ability to be successful in brand acquisition activities is dramatically increased in comparison to its competition. Finally, Kroger strives to do what any good business attempts to do, to put the customer first. Most grocery stores utilize some sort of bonus card program, but Kroger seems to be more successful than most in this aspect of its customer service initiative. Ultimately, this creates a win-win scenario for both customer and company. The customer receives relevant coupons and other bonuses as a result of taking part in the program, and Kroger receives valuable customer information which it can then use for targeted strategic planning purposes. Kroger also takes pride in its customer service initiatives, and in general the company pays its employees higher wages than the industry average in order to acquire and retain better talent. When looking at Kroger as a component of the supermarket and grocery store industry, we can see that the company is able to overcome some of the most important traits that comprise the two strongest forces that the industry as a whole has to contend with, as detailed earlier in this analysis. First, Kroger is uniquely positioned to create significant competitive advantages over its competitors using the strategies outlined above. Second, the company handles the heavy concentration of supermarket and other grocery businesses through its significant merger and acquisition activity in order to secure markets where it is already operating. By increasing its concentration in certain areas, Kroger can vastly expand its customer base and ultimately drive sales. With the combination of increased sales revenues and the significant presence of low-cost private brand products, Kroger realizes higher profit margins than many of its competitors. Ultimately, Kroger does an excellent job of creating competitive advantages in order to position itself in such a unique way as to be able to acquire a larger market share within the highly competitive supermarket and grocery store industry. Indicated here are the references used in this analysis. On behalf of the entire group, I would like to thank you for your time.